This is the alien being that I call Mum. It's adopted me, basically. It's crazy, isn't it? But there you go.
So who are these people, and how does it affect them?
I'm all trembling.
Why's that?
I think it's just fear, being taken.
What happens when they're abducted?
I have seen them appear in my room, and then you are just taken and you go up.
Whitby, in northeast England. An important council meeting is in progress.
And one of the things that we were really hoping to do would be to see if Scarborough Borough Council would transfer the cemetery to us.
It's chaired by 53-year-old Simon Parkes, who's been the local Labour councillor there since last year. He also works as a driving instructor.
Follow the road round, bears round to the right. He'll wait for you, he's seen you. He'll wait for you as well, that's fine. And you go.
But when he does have some time off, he likes to go to his attic where he keeps a very special family album.
This is the alien being that I call Mum. Now, it clearly isn't my mother because I'm human, but in my mind, it got me to be convinced that it was my mother. If you can imagine, this alien being has adopted me, and so I refer to it as Mum.
So how often do you see your mum?
Oh, I would say probably once a month, twice a month, depending. And what will happen is that we will hold hands, and I'll say I'm ready, and then the technology that I do not understand, then you are just taken and you go up, straight up to a craft orbiting the Earth.
But having an alien mum isn't Simon's only close encounter.
That is the being that I claim to have sexual relations with. So I don't have a name. All I refer to her as is the cat queen.
So you have sex with her?
Yes.
How often?
I don't remember all of it. Probably 4 times a year, something like that.
So do you have any alien children?
You're looking at one here. This is the name, Zaka.
So that's your child?
Well, yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? But there you go.
Simon's encounters with his alien lover have caused problems with his Earth wife, who has asked not to be filmed.
My wife, found out about it and was very unhappy, clearly. That caused a few problems.
Well, was she jealous?
Yes. But it's not on a human level, so I don't see it as wrong.
What do you say to some people that might say, oh, you're mad?
Yeah, I'd say I can understand how you would say that, because you've not seen anything yourself, and that's your immediate fallback position. But you come and spend some time with me, you follow me around for a day, and you'll actually walk away shaking your head because you'll think, well, he's actually not mad.
Many of the people who say they are abducted every year find it very distressing. The seaside town of Whitby. Labour councillor Simon Parkes is being interviewed by a journalist from a local paper.
Why do you think it's important that people get involved in local politics?
Because councils are elected, individuals are elected to represent the views of the people now.
A year ago, the Whitby Gazette ran an interview with Simon, talking about his alien mum.
I've spoken to you, you seem quite compos mentis. I was quite shocked that somebody of your standing would say something like that.
I would just say that there are plenty of people in my position who don't choose to come out and say it because they are terrified that it will destroy their careers.
Being open in public hasn't destroyed Simon's career, but he believes it's brought him to the attention of the Secret Service.
There's an Audi behind us, and it has been following us all the time, off and on. So would you just turn your camera around and film him for me out the back window? Because that'll really...
film it through the window?
Yeah, as long as you get the index for that vehicle, and just make it obvious that we're filming them.
Why would they be following you?
Well, maybe they just have an interest. And what we're going to do is we're just going to lose it. Like this. This is the sort of thing that happens in my life, but it's just the way it is.
And do you get that a lot, Simon?
A great deal. A great deal. We call it cat and mouse. Cat and mouse.
Simon's on his way through a village that a few months ago, he says, became the scene of one of his abductions whilst with a friend.
Do you think it happened right here?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, just here where this track goes off to the farm. We both agree, both myself and the passenger agree, that we were physically taken from the motor vehicle. We can definitely remember being lifted out of the vehicle. Now, I have no idea how they did that.
So where did the vehicle go?
That's the question, isn't it? How on earth, A, where did the vehicle go? B, how were we put back into a moving vehicle? This is the technology that is just completely stumps us.
This is like evidence.
Absolutely. It's where I can actually stand physically, look and say, not only did I experience this, but somebody in the car also experienced it with me.
And can I meet her?
You can, but I don't think that she'll actually want you to film her.
Despite having a witness to corroborate his abduction, there is still no scientific proof aliens are visiting Earth.
Hello, Anne. Simon here.
Simon Parkes is so convinced his stories are real, he came out as an abductee to the press.
This particular woman.
As a Labour town councillor, he's constantly busy sorting out important local issues.
They wanted to sell the shed.
And at home, he's kept on his toes by his 9 cats.
Stop fighting. It's brother and sister, you see. They are always at each other's throats. It's very naughty and don't allow it. Cats are a matriarchal society.
Are aliens matriarchal?
Some of them are. Just some of them are.
What about your aliens?
Male.
Male.
Male dominated, very, very clearly.
But he does find some time to go into town for some essential supplies.
So that's a good one. I'm going to have that one. These are nice, big, thick colouring crayons, which are just ideal. I know they're for kids, but they're actually absolutely ideal. So we're going to have those as well.
Are you talking about for your mum? What
Yep.
green does your mum have?
That sort of colour. That's a really good colour.
Simon spends hours drawing his experiences. He finds it helps him come to terms with them.
Why do you call it mum?
Because when I was a very small child, the very first recollection I have was being lifted out of my cot. The only thing I can remember after that is it saying to me, you will never be hurt, you will never be harmed.
Does your alien mum protect you in any way?
I think I'm fairly clear in my head that I'm monitored very closely. And if there is anything that seriously is about to happen or does happen, then I'm fairly, confirmed in my own mind that they will intervene. They have intervened in the past.
Simon says when he was a small boy, he had a terrible accident that normally would have been fatal.
According to what the doctor had said, and the doctor's the professional, the doctor was basically saying you should have been in hospital, your spine was snapped in half. I'd fallen down, 8 foot or so of concrete channeling, done myself quite a nasty mischief. How on earth did I get out of that channel unaided? I have no memory of that at all. Somebody helped me. I'm quite pleased that I've got a guardian angel looking over me.
So without your alien mum, you'd be dead?
Probably, yes.
Simon is very close to what he calls his alien family, consisting of a mistress, children, and an alien mum. But today he's looking at his human family album.
That's me as a very young child.
He never knew his father, and he was brought up in Brighton by his mother, who was an alcoholic.
But it must have been really hard for you growing up with an alcoholic.
Yes, of course it was. It was very difficult. I'm sure she loved me in her own way, but when we would have meals, we would never eat together. In the 18 years that we'd been together, before she obviously died, I probably sat and ate food with her 3 times.
If I was to ask you who was a better parent?
One was providing emotional support and learning support. That would be the alien one. And the other one was providing me clothes, food, warmth. So there were 2 sides of a coin.
So combined, your 2 mothers, as it were,
Yeah.
made up to be the sort of the mother you wanted or needed?
I certainly think that what was happening was that a role was being taken by one and a role was being taken by another.
Can I throw a crazy theory at you, son?
you can.
An unhappy, unloved child makes up an imaginary world.
If I was going to make something up, I can assure you I'd make up something much happier, much more fun, less dark, and far more grounded in this world than this.